صباح الخير، دعوني أخبركم قصة التقاء هنري رويس وتشارلز رولز للمرة الأولى. إضافة إلى كونها اسم أسطوري في عالم السيارات، تعد علامة رولز رويس أيقونة تاريخية في عالم الهندسة الميكانيكية. أسست الشركة في غداء شهير عام 1904 بين مهندس ناجح هنري رويس ومستثمر طموح تشارلز رولز. هنري رويس كان مولودا في بيئة فقيرة للغاية. والداه كان يخبزان الخبز في مصنع للطحين ويبيعانه في قرية صغيرة في شمال إنجلترا، ولم يكن مصنع الطحين في حال جيدة، لذا كان على العائلة الانتقال إلى لندن حيث تتواجد فرص العمل. هنري الذي كان يبلغ من العمر 11 عاما وهو أصغر إخوته ولديه تعليم مدرسي لسنة واحدة، وجد نفسه يبيع الصحف ويسلم رسائل التلغرام لتحقيق دخل العائلة. وعندما كان في 16 علم أنه يريد أن يكون مهندسا. كان يائسا لدرجة أنه طلب من إحدى خالاته التي كانت تملك بعض المال أن تدفع 50 جنيها في العام لتعليمه الهندسة في شركة سكك الحديد الكبرى في مكان مولده في الشمال. ظل يلح حتى وافقت. لسوء الحظ لم يستمر هذا الأمر، فالتعليم كان يتطلب دراسة 5 سنوات، لكن المال نفذ في السنة الثالثة. كان كالإسفنجة في مجال العلم هذا. انتقل بعد ذلك للعمل في إحدى شركات تصنيع الآلات الدقيقة حتى بلغ 21 من عمره، ثم قام بالتوجه إلى مانشستر وفي جيبه مدخراته وكانت 20 جنيها. طلب من صديقه أرنست المال وكان بحوزته 50 جنيها. أخذ الاثنان 70 جنيها المتوفرة وفتحا ورشة صغيرة في مانشستر، وهناك بدأ عمله كمهندس حتى بلغ 41 من عمره. ثم قرر تصنيع سيارته الخاصة لأنه ضاق ذرعا من تصليح السيارات، فقام بتصنيع سيارة في ورشته وسماها رويس، واستطاع قيادتها ل20 ميلا جيئة وذهابا. في النهاية تعرف على تشارلز روث الذي كان ابن رجل أرستقراطي وقد أتم لتوه شهادة في الهندسة من جامعة كامبريدج، وهو يحب السيارات. كان لديه متجر في فولهام يبيع فيه السيارات الفاخرة من فرنسا، لكنه كان في الواقع يريد سيارة إنجليزية. قاد سيارة هنري رويس للمرة الأولى وقال لشريكه في العمل إنه يريد مقابلة الرجل الذي صنع هذه السيارة، لأنه أراد أن يقابل شخصا مثله في حياته. وقد كان في 26 من عمره. اليوم السحري كان 14 من مايو أيار من عام 1914، حيث ركب تشارلز وشريكه القطار شمالا إلى مانشستر لمقابلة هنري رويس في فندق جميل يحمل الكثير من التاريخ. وفي هذا الفندق، فندق ميدلاند، توجد قطعة معدنية كتب عليها: هنا تصافح هنري رويس وتشارلز رولز للمرة الأولى. قال تشارلز لهنري إنه قاد سيارته وهك التالي: كلما أسرعت أنت في إنتاج هذه السيارات كلما أسرعت أنا في شرائها. لا تهمني الكمية، فلدي الكثير من المال. لكنه قال لهنري إنه يجب تسميتها رولز رايس وليس رويز رولز، وعندها ولدت رولز رويس. تأتي رولز رويس ب109 أعوام من الخبرة، وخلال هذه الأعوام الطويلة مثلت علامة رولز رويس عدة أشياء. أولا، أفضل ما هناك في عالم الهندسة، وأفضل ما هناك في عالم الرفاهية، وتصميم السيارات فرديا وفقا لحاجات كل زبون. ذلك ما يقول الكثير من المختصين أنه ذلك يمثل أفضل سيارة في العالم. أعتقد أن سيارة رولز رويس تقوم بالمزاوجة بين مهارة التصنيع العالية ومهارة التصنيع التقليدية. مهارات عالية في الخشب والجلد والطلاء، وأيضا التكنولوجيا في خلفية المظهر. في رولز رويس نتأكد أن السيارة تمثل بيئة جميلة وصامتة، لكن في نفس الوقت السيارة حديثة جدا ومعاصرة وفيها كل التكنولوجيا التي تساعد السائق على القيادة بسلاسة. أعتقد أنه عندما نتحدث عن توسع رولز رويس فإننا نتحدث عن شيء يحصل تلقائيا، نقوم بذلك بشكل ثابت، لكننا لا نتوسع بشكل كبير وبسرعة. التوسع هنا جاء بعد 10 سنوات من العمل، ففي عام 2003 أطلقنا الفانتوم، وفي هذا العام قمنا بالتوسع، وقد جئنا به بناء على طلب الزبائن لتعديل سياراتهم وجعلها فريدة. حول العالم نرى شخصنة السيارات في توسع، وأعلى نسبة من ذلك موجودة في الشرق الأوسط، حيث يوجد الكثير من زبائننا، لذا فتوسعنا هنا جعلنا قادرين على تلبية حاجات الزبائن.
احنا حاليا داخل مصنع شركة الرولز رويس. طبعا الغرفة اللي وراي هي المكان الوحيد اللي فيه آلات داخل هالمصنع. مستر جيمس راح يشرح لنا أكثر.
Pleased to meet you. Come in and I'll take you into the paint shop to show you the paint. The space frames come to us from Dingolfing in Bavaria, and over there they've had 3 processes. Firstly, they've been dipped in phosphate, and then the second dip is in electrocoat, which is a positive and negative charge is put to the paint to make this stick to the whole frame to make it corrosive proof for the rest of its life. And the third process in Dingolfing is with a sealant. They will go under the wheel arches, under the boot, under the bonnet, in the door shuts to make the car completely watertight. It will make its way from Belgium over our channel to Southampton, and then 2 hours by lorry the frame is here for us to do the painting. The first thing that happens is it is thoroughly cleaned, ready for the primer. The boys and girls will be dressed in this outfit, and with this gun they will put the primer on underneath to the places where the robots can't get to. Now we do use 2 robots. These are the only robots used in the whole plant. Now we use the robots because robots will put exactly the right amount of paint on without overspraying and without that horrible orange peel effect. Then with the colour, the same thing happens to the base colour. It will go on by hand, underneath, and then over the top with the robots. Then unlike any other manufacturer, we put 2 very thick clear coats, not 1, but 2 very thick clear coats, each rubbed and sanded. Now look at the process. We have a phosphate, we have e-coat, we have a sealant, we have a primer, we have a base coat and 2 very thick clear coats. That's 7 coats. Then the car is polished, and polished for 4 hours. 2 people polish that car for 4 hours before it goes on the line. And at the very end, after it's been on its 5-kilometre test drive around the local area, it comes back and it's polished again. Only this time it's polished under ultraviolet light. This will show up any imperfections. And we have 2 supervisors, and they are very strict. The car will not leave this room until the car is 110% polished. Then it will go to the other side of the room, ready for the customer, and then you can't breathe on it. Well, as you can see, we have many colours. Many years ago, when we first started, a lady from Paris, she sent her lipstick in for us to paint the car this colour. Well, at first my boss was going to be very concerned about having a pink car, but we did the car. And of course, these cars have to go for a 5-kilometre drive, test drive. and we have two advanced drivers, one lady driver and one gentleman driver. They take it in turns. Whichever car comes off the line, it's their turn. You can guess whose turn it was when the pink car came off the line. It was a gentleman, and he said to the lady, "You'll be doing this one," and she says, "No, I'm not doing it." So he had to put the dark sunglasses on and drive this beautiful pink car around the local area. My name's James.
Hello, James. Thank you for having us in Rolls-Royce.
You're very welcome. Before we go on to the production line, let me explain about the engine, or all three engines. First of all, this is a Phantom engine, which is just a naturally aspirated engine. It's very typical Rolls-Royce. It is made by BMW, but it's exclusive to the Rolls-Royce motor cars. The Phantom engine will go in a Phantom. The Ghost engine will go in a Ghost. The Wraith engine will go in a Wraith. These are specifically designed for Rolls-Royce. This is very typical Rolls-Royce, this Phantom engine. It's 6.75 litre V12. Now, they used to say to Rolls-Royce owners many years ago, "Excuse me, sir, what is the brake horsepower of your Rolls-Royce?" And the owners used to say, "It's sufficient," or "it's adequate." But today we can tell you the Phantom is 453 brake horsepower. What it means in real terms, the car is roughly 2.5 tonnes. It will go from 0 to 100 kilometres in 5.9 seconds. Now remember, this is just a naturally aspirated engine. The new Ghost, which is a twin turbo, is 563 brake horsepower. That Ghost will go from 0 to 100 kilometres in 4.9 seconds.
هالمنطقة هون هي بداية خط الإنتاج لسيارات الجوست والريث، وفي خط مماثل لسيارات الفانتوم، وبالنهاية الاثنين بيلتقوا. Now James will take us through all the production line.
Yes. So here we have the beginning of the Ghost line, and of course the new Wraith will be on this line as well. In the early stages, the Ghost will have the shock absorbers fitted, all the soundproofing and the beautiful speakers. And it's roughly 90 minutes between each station where nothing happens with robots, everything is hand done, the car will just be pushed along, and then 90 minutes later another two people will take over and push it along. It's very relaxed, very slow and methodical. Everything has to be dead right.
إذا مريم كانت على خط إنتاج الجوست، وأنا حالياً على خط إنتاج الفانتوم. تقريباً هي نفس المراحل بين السيارتين. Right, James?
You are right, Abdullah. Well, here we are in the production line of the Phantom, as Abdullah said, and we see lots of black cars with red leather. Now, this is interesting because the Chinese do love black cars with red leather. The black is because when you have a black car, you really have made it to the top of your tree, and the leather has to be red because that's very lucky to have red in the car. And you can see now the production line is finished, and that's because we have made the 6 cars today, and the lovely boys and girls have gone home. This is a headliner for the car, and you can have the Constellation, and you can even have the Constellation as it was when you were born, where all the stars and everything were the day you were born. So this is beautiful. This is about 1,400 fibre optics which come up and placed from underneath, and then when they're finished, we will come along and snip them at exactly the same level as the roof, so that you could run your hand over it and be really smooth. We've had one man, he wanted his birth sign, which was Sagittarius. When he looked up, he could see Sagittarius. We had a Chinese man, he asked if he could see a dragon. So we did a beautiful dragon. And these are fibre optics, so it only needs one light to pass through all the fibre optics. It is a very, very nice thing. This is where the doors are put together. You'll have noticed that it's so much easier to work on the car with the doors removed. The doors were removed at the very early process. They were sent to this station where the boys and girls will put the leather on the door, put the wood on the door, the double glazed glass, the central locking and the mirrors. And this process is done to a very high standard. And when it's finished with an umbilical connector, it will connect the door to a computer, and the computer will operate the glass, the central locking and the mirror, and check, check, check. And then the doors will make their way to the car they came from. Here we are in the leather shop. This is where all the leather is put together onto the seats, onto the armrests, onto the various bits in the car. This is a bull. This bull is a large bull, but normally they're a bit smaller. But these, we do use the male cow, the bull, because the female cows are very valuable to the farmer, giving birth and producing milk. So it takes about 10 bulls for a phantom. That's 20 half heights. So this is a half height and that's a half height. What we do is, these bulls are bred in high altitude farms so that they are free from mosquito bites. Mosquitoes like to be beside water, lower down. We found a beautiful farm in northern Germany who do the tanning for us to a very high standard. The hides are sent there to be dyed. Now, when they come in, we get a half hide and we check it for strength, putting it on a stretcher. We're looking for stretch marks. We're looking for little imperfections, and we put chalk marks on these imperfections. Then it's laid on a cutting table, and the operator will move with a laser the shapes onto the half hide and move these shapes around to include the chalked areas or to exclude the chalked areas. It really is a wonderful process. And then all these pieces are cut with a scalpel which oscillates at a very high frequency, so you get a beautiful clean cut. Then the pieces of leather are taken into the sewing shop where they start to sew and do the piping, and it's a wonderful experience. Here we are with a wood display. This is how the wood is constructed. This is called the substrate, and it's made up of 24 layers of tulip wood from the poplar tree. Can you see it's interspersed with aluminium? This is for two reasons. First reason, it gives the wood strength. The second reason, if the car was unfortunately in an accident, when wood breaks, wood splinters and it could pierce the airbag or pierce you. This aluminium prevents it from splintering. Now the second process is we have to achieve book matching like this, equal and opposite. How this is achieved is we get two pieces of veneer like this, and we take the one underneath the first one and we turn it so that it joins up and it is book matched. And this will be placed on the substrate. Then we cover the whole thing with blue tape and then it's glued together. When we remove the blue tape, you can actually see the marks inside where we had to cut the wood, the veneer, to get it into shape. It's almost finished, but you will still see some little marks. We have a whole artist of young men and women with paints and brushes, and they will fill in all those marks to that exact colour. So the end result is one beautiful piece of wood with no flaws or marks anywhere in it. Absolute first class finish. this is the back of the drop head coupe. This is a skill we learned from the boating industry, where this is really solid teak with caulking, which makes it completely waterproof. If you can imagine a beautiful drop head coupe, Mediterranean blue, with the brushed aluminium bonnet, and this beautiful teak decking at the back, and with white, vivid white seats. When you look down on this car, it looks remarkably like a yacht.
Of course, Rolls-Royce is a very old and precious thing, and like all old and precious things, it has to be handled with a great deal of care and attention. It's an often asked question as to what are the most extreme requests you have, but in reality, there aren't that many, because there is such a mutual respect for what the brand is and what it represents. People understand that the cars are the result of a creative vision, and they do not want to cause any detriment to that. Well, the mediums that I work with, it's still very much sketch-based. So even in this day and age, with all the various technologies that we have at our disposal, we still rely on pen and paper. It has an unrivaled sense of freedom. You can explore a multitude of ideas very, very quickly, and it's also a nice thing to have in terms of paying homage to the artisanal skills that have formed part of the brand for its whole existence, really. We come close to that for sure. So Rolls-Royce Bespoke, in many senses, it works on two tiers. There's the reactive side of the business, which is facilitating individual customer requests, and there's also the proactive. So in recent times, last year, we were very fortunate in that we commissioned the limited collection of Phantom Coupe Aviator, which for me was a lot of fun to work on, because it really accentuated the core attributes of the car and the things that I liked about it so much in the first place. You know, it was this sort of discerning gentleman's choice, and it was a very masculine vehicle, and it was a lot of fun to work on. For me, it commands a huge amount of respect, whatever you do in Rolls-Royce. The unique sort of possibilities it grants a designer is the fact that you're uncompromising the materials that you work with. So you work with the very, very finest materials in the world, and you work with the finest artisans in the world to, mold these and sculpt these into different visions and different sort of results of creative aspirations, both from the customer and from ourselves.
Okay, when the car is finished at the end stage, there's no other manufacturer will put a brand new car through the next 3 very serious tests. Test number 1, this is a shaker test, where the car is sitting on 4 pistons. Those pistons will move randomly to simulate the worst terrain in the world, and at the same time they're listening for noise. Any little noise will be sorted here. This is test number 2. Now, this is the rolling road test, where the car will be brought up to almost 100 miles an hour. At the same time, the experienced driver is listening for any unusual rattles or shakes, and this is also where they test the gas. The gas analyzer test is done in this rolling road too. you test number 3. This is a water test. This car will go in here. It will have 2 minutes of normal rain. It would be very foolish to do it for longer before you check for leaks. If there's no leaks, the car will have a further 10 minutes of torrential rain coming from above and below. Still no leaks. Then we raise the car by 10 degrees and we throw a monsoon at the car, every single car, including the drop head coupe. We test these cars to the utmost water integrity.
Hi. Hi there, I'm good, thank you. So you've had a chance to have a look around the Rolls-Royce manufacturing plant?
Yeah.
Enjoy it?
A lot.
Fantastic. Learn a little bit about the history, the heritage, and so how these cars have been built. So this is the end result. This is the Phantom Series 2. So it's the Phantom Saloon. It's a beautiful car. As you can see, for us this was relaunched in terms of the new Phantom Series 2 last year. So what we did was keep the design of the car, which is now 10 years old. So it's a design classic in its own right. But at the same time we updated the underlying technology. So that's what our customers asked us to do. When we went to see them, said, well, how would you like Phantom to be for the future? They said, don't change it too much. Keep it as it is, as it looks, because it's now a design classic, but there are things underneath we'd like you to change. That's exactly what we've done.
Is it easy to drive?
Of course, it's a Rolls-Royce. So the car is very much an easy car. It's very simple. The controls are close to you. It's a beautiful car to drive. It's very quiet. So like all Rolls-Royces, it's got a silent ride. It's what we call wafting. So about 100 years ago, a journalist wrote this wonderful line about wafting through the countryside. And Rolls-Royce have kept this wonderful description ever since. So the idea is you're on a magic carpet floating on clouds, and it insulates you from the modern world, whether it's just for fun or for business. So let's get you in the car, have a drive. Okay guys? Drive. No problem at all. So allow me, if I just wander past. In a Rolls-Royce, it's all very straightforward. The idea is the car does as much as it can for you. So foot on the brake, press the start button. So the engine has now started. You might not be able to hear it from outside. Yeah. When you're inside, you definitely won't be able to hear it. Controls are very simple, and a second will, that's the handbrake, yeah. You put it towards you and down to drive off. So you get the screen, so just towards you and down, that's it. So D for drive. That's right. Indicators, windscreen wipers. Good.
Ready to go?
Enjoy your ride.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Thanks
Take care.
طول عمري متعود على السبورت، السيارات الصغيرة هذه ما شاء الله يخ، فعلا أنا قاعد أسوق يخ.
والله أنا حاسة حالي بفيرست كلاس، بس بدل ما تكون على الطيارة على الطريق. عن جد عبد الله شو هالفخامة، صراحة. شو هالخشب، شو هالديزاين.
شوف الهدوء بس. ايه
على فكرة هاي ميزتها الرولز رويس، ما بتسمع شي بتنقطع عن العالم. بما انه نحن طالعين برولز رويس المود لازم يكون كتير كلاسيك. خلينا بتحس حالك هلا حسمعك شي كأننا بأوبرا، عم نحضر أوبرا. جد ليك عبد الله حتى بس نوطي صوت الراديو على الاخير.
هدوء مش طبيعي.
بغير عالم انت.
سواقتها مو برائعة، بس ما اقدر اوصفها بصراحة. يمكن جاي بس رولز ما شاء الله، والله سواقتها خيال. انا فيها خفة مش طبيعية في الريس، في الهدوء، في الستيرنج، والانسيابية في الشارع غريبة، مع ان الواحد يشوفها من برا يقول وايد كبيرة.
على فكرة والحلو بهالسيارة انه من 2003 هالسيارة كانت تنصنع ولحديت هلا بعدها بتنباع، يعني ما بيغيروا الشكل الخارجي عبد الله، اوكي بيدخلوا لها شوية تكنولوجي، بيزيدوا لها قصص، تغيير بسيط، بس عم بحكي على الشكل الخارجي قد ايه هالسيارة عن جد بعدها مرغوبة، وقد ايه يعني ميزة من ميزات السيارات الموجودة برولز رويس.
يعني كلاسيك، الجلد اللي عليه طبعا تطريز بالايد، شغل اصلا السياره كلها بالايد.
شفناهم كيف بيشتغلوا عبد الله.
انا تساليني شلون قاعد اسوق السياره بقول لك والله العظيم ما تحسين ايش قاعد تسوين.
تحس خايفين عليها اكثر ما خايفين على حالك. شو فيها زرار ايه؟
وايد فيها ذره وفيها تقنيه، لا احد يشوفها كلاسيك ويقول لا.
ايه بس حتى طريقه الازرار منن كثير يعني بارزين بطريقه، يعني محافظين على لوك الخشب ولوك الانتيكتي. زرار بسيطه يعني بس فيها زرار.
على فكره يمكن هاي ميزه في السياره، مش على اول ما اعطيها ريس راح تروح، لا بعد ما اعطيها ريس يمكن اجزاء من الثانيه وبعدين تفز. والله ما توقعت ان السياره فيها باور بصراحه. طبعا وزنها 2 طن مش بسيط. هم كانوا مضطرين انهم يزيدون في الهورس باور عشان يعوضون الثقل اللي في السياره.
طبعا. خلينا نشوفها على الراوند اباوتس اذا سافره على الطريق. اعطيها شوي يا عبد الله. بترول علي. لا ما تغير
غيرت تراج. لا شو هيك، انا لاحظت لما لفيت حتى في الدوار ثابته كثير ما شاء الله. خفه في الستيرنج ما اعطتها الانسيابيه في اللف. يعني قلت لك الواحد يشوفها من برا يقول كبيره،